Welcome to the Help in Daily Living podcast, the podcast where we help you navigate your days with grace. It's all about giving you practical tips to equip you for success in this life and the life to come. The episodes are biblically based with real life experiences. We challenge you to join us on this journey as we uncover the keys to unlock a successful, Christ-centered life. Welcome again to another episode of the Help in Daily Living podcast, where we look at relatable challenges and situations and find answers through the scriptures to help us navigate life successfully. Our topic this week is She Pleaseth Me Well. Now, I love a good Bible story, and I'm sure that you too can relate to what I'm saying. I remember growing up as a child, my brothers and I, just before bedtime, would take our stash of Bible books and we would decide which story we wanted to read that night. Some of my favorites were the stories of David and Goliath, Esther the orphan-turned queen, Naaman and the little maid, and many others. But one of my all-time favorites was that of Samson. I guess it reminded me of my favorite strong but cheeky superhero who would swoop in and save the day from the big bad guys. I have since reflected on the story of Samson as an adult, and I've uncovered a few things. Samson was a miracle child to his parents from God, purposed to deliver the Israelites from the Philistines. One day, Samson visits a Philistine city, sees a woman, and says to his father, "Get her for me, for she pleaseth me well." Against the advice of his parents, he then marries the woman. This union costs the life of Samson's wife and that of her family, and was the cause of political upheaval and a series of deaths. Samson then goes on to be intimate with a prostitute and then falls in love with the famed Delilah. He goes on to flaunt his God-given abilities, treating lightly with God's divinely purposed blessings, which eventually leads to his blindness and death. Samson, in death, sort of fulfills, by God's grace, the purpose of his birth, as all the Philistine lords were killed along with Samson, but at what cost? Samson's story shows the diverse consequences of disobedience to God and godly parental counsel. It shows the defects that develop in our character when we decide upon our own way and passions. It shows the painstaking pitfalls of unequally yoked relationships. It shows that our attachments to people matters and affects the trajectory of our lives. The story of Samson ultimately shows the severe consequences of sin. The book of Proverbs tells us that there's a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death. What path are you on that seems right? For Samson, it was his senses. He made a life-impacting, life-altering decision based on what he saw. She pleaseth me well. For you, it may be a relationship that feels right, a job opportunity that feels right, a friend group that feels right. But as Proverbs tells us, the way that seems right to us end in the ways of death. Sin's consequence. I challenge you today, as I challenge myself, to hold on to the things that are true, the things that are honest, the things that are just and pure and lovely, the things that are good. Let's hold on to God's perfect will. This has been the Help in Daily Living podcast. Join us next time as we share another nugget to help you navigate your days with grace.